People always say you never really know someone, but no one tells you how terrifying it is when you realize it's true. Because sometimes the person you trust the most is the one hiding the darkest secret, and this story proves it. It started like any other night, quiet, ordinary, forgettable. At least, that's what I thought. I was scrolling through my phone, half asleep, when I received a message. No name, no profile picture, just a single sentence. I don't have much time. You need to know the truth. At first, I laughed it off. Spam, a prank, something meaningless. I almost ignored it, almost. But something about it felt wrong, not threatening, not dramatic, just urgent. So I replied, "Who is this?" There was a pause, long enough for me to think it was over. Then another message appeared. "You don't know me, but I know you, and I know what he did." My heart dropped, because there was only one person that sentence could be about. The person I trusted with my life, the person I loved, the person everyone said was perfect. I typed back with shaking hands. "What are you talking about?" 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. "I've been watching him for years, and you're not the first." That's when the fear started creeping in. Not panic, not terror. That slow, cold fear that settles in your chest and refuses to leave. I asked what they meant. The reply came immediately. "He doesn't hurt people with his hands, he hurts them with silence." I didn't understand, so I asked for proof. Another pause, then my phone buzzed, an image. At first glance, it looked normal, just a photo of a street, a familiar street, my street. Then I noticed the timestamp, 2 years ago, a date I remembered very clearly, because that was the night he told me he was out of town. My breathing became shallow. Before I could respond, another message arrived. "There are more," and there were. Photos, screenshots, audio files, each one revealing a piece of a puzzle I never knew existed. He had lied, not once, not twice, for years. Different names, different cities, different stories, and different people who all believed they were the only one. I wanted to scream, to deny it, to find an explanation that made sense, but the evidence didn't leave room for excuses. I asked the stranger why they were telling me this. The response came slowly. "Because someone needs to stop him, and because you're the only one who can." I felt sick. I didn't ask how they knew. I didn't ask who they were. Deep down, I already knew the answer wouldn't make this easier. Instead, I asked the question I was most afraid of. "Why now?" The reply took longer this time. When it finally came, it was only 4 words. "Because he's escalating." My hands went numb. Escalating how? The message that followed is something I still hear in my head at night. "He's getting careless, and someone is going to get hurt." I stared at the screen for a long time. Everything I thought I knew about my life, about my future, about him, collapsed in seconds. I didn't confront him. Not yet. I needed to know more, so I kept talking to the stranger. Over the next few days, they told me everything. How he mirrored personalities, how he studied people, how he made them feel seen, understood, chosen, and then how he disappeared, leaving confusion, self-doubt, and silence. No closure, no answers, just emotional wreckage. I realized something terrifying. He wasn't charming by accident. It was calculated. Every word, every look, every promise. And I was just his latest chapter. The stranger warned me. "He will deny everything. He will make you doubt yourself, and he will cry." That sentence chilled me because I had already imagined it. The confrontation, the tears, the apologies, the "you're crazy" look. I finally confronted him 3 nights later. I didn't accuse. I didn't raise my voice. I simply asked one question. "Is there anything you've never told me?" He froze, just for a second, but it was enough. He smiled after that. too calmly, and said no. That's when I knew, not because of the lies, but because of how easy it was for him. I didn't tell him I knew, not yet. I left, and that night I blocked him everywhere. No explanation, no goodbye. 2 hours later, I received another message from the stranger. You did the right thing. I asked them who they were. They replied, someone who didn't leave in time. I never heard from them again. Weeks later, I found out he had already moved on. New city, new name, new story. Someone else was living the life I thought was mine. And here's the scariest part. If that message had arrived just a little later, I might still be there, trusting him, defending him, loving him. So if you're listening to this and something in your chest feels tight, there's a reason. Sometimes the truth doesn't arrive gently. Sometimes it breaks the door down to save you. And sometimes the scariest stories are the ones happening right next to us. And if you're listening to this and something in your chest feels familiar, if you've lived a story like this or something close to it, you're not alone. If you feel comfortable, share your story in the comments. Sometimes reading each other is how we start healing, and sometimes it's how someone else realizes they need to leave.